you guys doing? It is Friday and I'm doing good. This is part two of Annalisa Goes Solo, my journey into the music industry. And today I'm gonna take you a little back because I've come a little further in my process, but I promise to take you back and let you be with me the whole way. So what we're going to talk about today is how, now that I'm in the process, how do I get an idea from my head or from my soul into an actual track? It is, again, this, because there's so many ways to get there. So I just want to remind you guys, this is not a tutorial. It is my personal journey and how I'm doing it right now. There's no right or wrong, I believe. So in my case, as I mentioned in the previous video, I wanted to be a solo artist since I was a little girl. So it's not like I'm just like now, hey, let's go solo. How do I write a song? I'm not really there. Like the songs are there, the melodies are there, but I haven't, now I'm working on like actually getting it from here out there. So, as some of you know, I studied music before I continued my education within musical theater. So at one point I had a band. I feel like my creative vibes was like really flowing at that time. And now I'm getting into it again. Life happened. I have a very strong passion for theater as well. So as life just continued and I started, gigging around, doing different musicals, I kind of just like those moments where I would just sit and make songs, they just like kind of disappeared somewhere. So it's not before I had this realization now that, hey, what happened to my solo career, that I realized that I have to take it serious. So that was my first thing. Take this serious, put down time for it and start networking, start telling people. I've had a lot of blockages there was some time where I wasn't active with my songwriting. I actually had there was, I will say, 8 years where I haven't been in a flow. Yes, there've been a couple of melodies coming here and then every once a month, but I didn't pursue it. I didn't really go into it. So my first thing was to take it serious. And I don't know about y'all, but very often in my cases, it comes in the night. Yes. And I'm like, yeah, right. Now that I'm going to sleep, now God wants to send me all this information. Right? But people are different. So the first thing I do is I record it. Whatever you have, record it on your phone or whatever device you have. Write it down if you have something to write on. If you have a piano or guitar or whatever, if you want to feel the key, like feel the mood of it, just do it. And make sure you record it so you have it somewhere. From there, I would say network. That's what I did. I started telling people that, believing in myself and saying, hey, I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm no longer with a band. So I needed help. You also could, of course, I have a little home studio where I could try to punch in the beat and wherever and make a mini demo and from there send it to other producers. I did that a couple of times, but arts is arts, which is amazing. I love it, but that means also the chemistry is super important. So even though I kind of never gave up, and I would make these homemade demos and send it somewhere, and people would come back with super tracks, but in some of the cases, it just wasn't what I was visioning. So I was kind of demotivated. But now I'm super motivated. Why? Because when I was in Denmark doing Book of Mormon, I met so many talented, wonderful people. Amongst them was my colleague, Ala Gami, a big time artist in Denmark. And I dared to talk to him about my personal wish to actually enter this business. And he basically connected me. He took me with him to several different producers, and I finally found my clique. Now I actually was in the studio. I jammed with these people. He introduced me to Gnuridas Productions, and I instantly felt yes, the chemistry, yes, I think we have the same vision. we're feeling the same kind of things. Gnu Dance Production is two people. They are two partners, like they're partners, and where it's Christian Varmi is that he's a mad as producer. He's mad. And then you have Jesper, who's the sickest instrumentalist. Like he's playing everything from saxophone, trombone to guitar, piano, you just name it. And he's just gonna do it. And that feeling of actually having something in my head, daring to sing it. I was, oh, this is, how am I gonna I wish I had a homemade video, like demo, right? But I didn't. And I just had to dare and give them my ideas, tell them what I had in mind, sing it for them. If I had a specific bass line, just be like, yes, I was thinking something like, right? And then for them to actually see, like, he picking up the bass and playing it and getting it all together, it's an amazing feeling. So I'm super stoked now. They believed in me and I believe in them. So we said, hey, let's do it. Let's try to make something. Where do we start? And at that time, I had already kind of been jamming on a couple of tunes, which was very inspired by the Danish culture and their language. And I said, hey, what do you think about doing something Scandinavian? Like, as a Norwegian, I'll obviously sing in Norwegian, but it would be fun to try to target our countries. And that's what we did. What I'm doing now is that I want to release a series of singles, which is going to be in Norwegian and in the genre urban pop / soul. So it's super cool. I'm super excited. I'm starting with that. And yeah, I found my click. From there, when you've recorded everything, they get into the process of mixing. Again, this is not a tutorial, so, kill me if I'm saying something wrong, but the way I understand it, is mixing. Basically, it's about the levels and blending, it's to make sure that how does the vocal blend in with the rest of the instruments, or even distance itself from the rest of the instrument. How is the guitar compared to the piano, and so on. And that's like very overall what the mixing is about. From mixing, we do what we call mastering, and I'm gonna tell you guys, like, maybe I'm wrong, but what I heard, I was so surprised. I heard that actually those pro master people, that's their own education. That's like a master degree in mastering. So that's I'm not even gonna talk too much about what that is, but it's the final process. When you've mixed it, your baby is like mixed now. You give it for mastering, and they're gonna make sure that it's popping, that it sounds good in small devices like your phone, as well as in bigger speakers, festival size, So yeah, this is what I'm doing with my Norwegian songs now. I partnered up with people that I felt the chemistry with, and that has that could fill in those things that I could not do myself. Yes. So we're gonna move on to part 3. See you later. In part 3, I think I'm gonna talk about, now that the track is mastered, how do I get it out there? Like, how do I get it on Spotify, Tidal, iTunes, YouTube, whatnot, right? So we're getting up to where I'm at right now. I found some, I feel like I did some breakthroughs a couple of days ago. So that video as well is going to be halfway already. I figured some things out, and halfway like still questioning a lot of things. Okay, but it's Friday. See y'all. Bye.